Hello. This is the newest in the series of installments of togetherness between myself and you, the constituents of the World Wide Web. Hello, how are you today? It's so nice to be here with you, connected through the universal intelligence. I'm having my afternoon coffee, courtesy of Tierra Farm, a local roaster here in Columbia County. Also of theirs, imported golden berries, my very favorite fruit. This is the second highest altitude fruit on the planet. It's from the high Andes. It's second only to the goji berry, and it has very, very high antioxidants, which make the berry so sour that when you eat it, your face inevitably forms a grimace. And this muscular grimace forces upon your neurology a similar grimace amounting to your brain contorting positively into a yin and yang, squeezing out humors of a certain sort, which I find to be very refreshing. And it makes it easy for me to write a lot of jokes when I eat these golden berries, and they've been a great source of inspiration and hilarity to me. And I will continue to enjoy purchasing them from tierrafarm.com. And it's Tuesday, or is it Monday? It's one of these days. You know, did you notice last month they skipped a day? I think they had the 2nd of November twice. I really wasn't paying attention, but I did notice. Anyway, that's very, very fine. Fantastic indeed. I really just wanted to enjoy some togetherness this evening because I do value our time together, and I don't think that we're really able to create enough of it due to certain inevitable geographical constraints like the cost of gas. Of course, I would just drive over and we could hang out. But as you know, gasoline is derived from dinosaur bones, which are becoming ever shorter in supply. Now, of course, ethanol has been derived from corn to supplement the traditional distilled petroleum market. However, as we all know, corn as a competing foodstuff is a very volatile market, and the demand on fuels creates a shortage in foodstuffs, and it causes market fluctuations which are actually felt by the young people and the vulnerable people of our civilization, which are the families and the working poor who are actually eating that corn and suffering from the spread of the genetic copyright and modification of the corn, so that these heirloom crops are becoming further and further encroached. There being very little of it left that's not thoroughly owned by a central corporate agricultural entity. Anyway, that's why I propose the North American state-by-state promulgation of cannabis as a crop to save the bureaucratic and economic structure which governs the landmass, essentially, does it not, people? Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll grow cannabis on every piece of dirt that sunlight is hitting, from sea to shining sea, from border to border, and there'll be, you know how this plant grows, from seed to 10 feet tall ganja in 120 days tops. The whole crop, from the time you put it in the ground to the time you harvest it, and you're making your wallboard and your gasoline and your fine candy products out of it. From all that, the whole entire production cycle is 120 days. From the time you take the seed, put it in the dirt, from the time you cut it down and begin processing it. 120 days. Now that's theoretically a large number of crops per year, up to 3 crops per year, given the right rotation of agricultural circumstances. You understand how crops have to be rotated. And of course, this thing can be grown all over the world between a wide range of latitudes. So I really think that even in a global construct, in terms of us having to pay the universal intelligence through their currency exchange at the highest levels, and that's really where the debt is coming from. I mean, everybody's looking around trying to say, well, what really seems to be the problem here? You know, I mean, like, this and that with the bailouts, yada yada, with the hoodawats. And, you know, when you try to follow the money upwards, it must seem like there's got to be some alien entity that eats it and needs it in that way. Otherwise, humanity would just agree to stop passing it up and cut it off. Because, like, really, who's at the top that needs that many cajillion mo? It's got to be something that needs it to eat and survive. And we're doing this back and forth hyperdimensional pass-through with the bank warp and understanding on the, you know, different types of the way they diversify and then come back together for, like, the salad and whatever. For the extra dimensional intelligence that needs our currency flow to eat and whatever, because that's the money goes up and there's a certain point it passes through the curtain and it looks like something must be eating it. They just keep on printing the damn stuff like they're going lettuce. So what I'm saying is, to securitize, amortize, and or collateralize that, we got to grow up the cannabis to stand up next to the paper money and whatnot for the extraterrestrial intelligence that has to eat our currency to survive and keep it friendly with us in the synchronicity and the vibration of the cosmos and the universe, because they run that. And, you know, we got the super collider, like the backup generator or whatever. But, like, you got to feed them, and they won't, like, take no for an answer at this point because they got families and whatnot, extraterrestrially, you know, on the diz. Anyway, you know the deal. So what I'm saying is, grow up the cannabis alongside of it and set the people free and let the bank warp do its function as far as the paper getting passed up. And with the gems and the stones and the locations and the whatnot, people please, I mean seriously, what do you need it for? Anyway, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. You know how it is with coffee. It's delicious, and you just want to have some every day, don't you? And the berries. Don't you want to have the berries every day? They're delicious. Golden berries from the high Andes, one of the cleanest places on earth. Well, I just wanted to thank you and advise you that, of course, once again, not to belabor a point or preach to the choir, but we don't need NASCAR, we need hashcar, because the exhaust is a product, and for advertisers, hashcar equals NAS couch.